Hello, lovely ones. So, good morning and welcome to episode 4 of the Sensitive Superstar series. And this series came to me as a bit of a download on Monday because I thought, you know what, I absolutely love the work that I do. I love supporting sensitive women who've got big hearts. I love sharing like my experiences as a sensitive heart-led woman. I love sharing like all the kind of growth opportunities that I've been through, especially over the last 6 months, because I've been learning so much about how to really harness my sensitivity. And I've really realised that actually, in order to be all of who I'm here to be, that I need to really own being a sensitive woman. And I really am in a place of absolutely like loving that. So yeah, the series came as a bit of inspiration because I was like, what an awesome opportunity to connect and share little bits each day about, you know, how to really look after your emotional well-being. So if you are jumping on with me this morning, then let me know you're here. Give me some hearts and let me know that you are here and you are that you are up for having a bit of a jam this morning, because I really want to be talking about how not to give a how not to give a fuck when you are a heart-centered, empathetic woman, because this is probably one of the most kind of loaded areas. When we look at, if we go back to episode 1 when I was sharing about how we have these different ways of being and these different ways that we are showing up. You know, from in our past, through our stories, you know, chances are we'll relate to being a people pleaser or a drama queen or a control freak or a bit of a rebel or a perfectionist, or if you're like me, you'll have times in your life where you would have strongly resonated with all of those in different ways. So when we're looking at unattaching, which is what we've been talking about, unattaching to responding from living in those places, and instead always looking at how we can come from a really empowered place, really looking after our emotional well-being, doing what we need to do in order to make sure that we are really showing up and we're not running ourselves down. We're not either, which we talked about in episode 2 or 3, we're not in either one of the camps where either you are suppressing the fact that you are an emotional sensitive woman, so you're really holding those emotions down and you're trapping them and you're pretending that you're not feeling any of those feelings. You're going around saying that I'm fine a lot. Or you're in the other camp of really going into burnout because you're feeling it so much. You feel everything. You're so kind of weighed down with everybody else's emotions and your own emotions that it becomes like you become burnt out from that because you're just exhausted. You're not looking after yourself. So we want to be really looking at how we nurture ourselves and how we look after our emotional well-being. So the title of this, How Not to Give a Fuck When You're a Sensitive, Emotional, Heart-Led Woman, is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, because the thing is that part of my journey over the last 6 months has been saying, you know what, I am a sensitive, heart-led woman, and that means that I am going to feel things and I do really care. And what I mean more by that title, apart from being a bit flippant, is actually how do you look after yourself in such a way that you are really protecting that amazing lion heart that you have, that huge heart that you've got for your family, for your life, for your community, for the world around you. How are you really protecting that so you aren't being drawn into drama? You aren't finding yourself being consumed with things that have happened in the past or what might happen in the future. So you're really guarding your energy wisely. And that's actually the theme. I just realized that's kind of led me to talk about the theme this month on my membership site. And my membership site in the tribe is using your energy wisely, using your feminine energy wisely. So there's a move that I've made from the yoga principle, which I was which I really lived a lot of the kind of the last few years by, which is Brahmacharya, which is using your energy wisely. It's the idea that you do what's right for you, that you know intuitively when to encourage yourself and you know when to rest. Well, to go deeper with that over the last 6 months, where I've really learned about the feminine cycle and my cycle, and how at different parts of my month I've got more energy, and other parts of my month I need to rest and I need to really nurture and look after myself. From learning all of that, I recognise that that is absolutely what it's about. It's about protecting and using your feminine energy wisely, so that you can bring all of who you are into your life. You can bring it into your family life. You can have the intimate and abundant relationships that you really, really crave. Those soul level connections that you're looking for, those are there for you to have. But that comes from really looking after yourself and really nurturing yourself, and of course, as always, coming from a place of true loving kindness towards yourself. Because where we can easily kind of like get pushed off track is when we get into a place of beating ourselves up for giving a fuck. We can give ourselves like a really hard time for caring, and for wanting something different. So my sort of top tips with this would be, first of all, if you don't already know, get really closely connected with your feminine cycle. Work out where you are in your cycle. Work out where where you need to rest, to nurture yourself, to look after yourself, when you've got more energy. Learn all about that. Really fall in love with yourself. We were talking about that yesterday, like falling utterly in love with yourself. That's so important. So you get to know yourself in that really intuitive way, that you then know like how you are looking after yourself, and you know then what you've got to give. And again, we were talking about that yesterday. So for me, when I say how not to give a fuck, it means not getting drawn into drama. It means not attaching to drama. It means not like finding yourself like frittering your time and your precious energy away on situations and people that aren't right for you. It's about looking at like, who's your tribe, yeah? So who is your tribe? Who are the people that really matter to you? Those are the people that you give a fuck about, you know, the world around you, you know, what the impact you know, your life and the way you're showing up has in the world around you. That's what you give a fuck about. But you don't get into a place of really feeling like you're drained by it. You are constantly replenishing yourself through practicing loving kindness, through knowing where you are in your cycle, through really looking after your practice and your self-care. And for me, I cannot say this enough, but when I have time for myself in the morning before the rest of the world happens, before like your responsibilities kick in, before you're thinking about what you need to achieve in the day, if you're then spending some time before all of that, just really connecting with yourself, like creating space, it just absolutely makes sense. Like if we've got a lot that we're giving and we're doing, and we've got to have time to be. We've got to have time to be before the rest of the world starts, and then this is what happens. You are replenished. You have so much to give through the rest of your day. You've had time to consider how you want to experience that day. You've had time just to be with yourself, however your practice looks. It's absolutely imperative as a sensitive woman. It's absolutely imperative, and I'm going to share more about that. But here is what I really want to get clear. If you are a heart-centered, empathetic, sensitive woman, then you need to guard your lion heart. Now, what I mean by this is it's not about shutting yourself off, because actually where you are at right now is you've probably spent a lot of time opening up your heart, and that's something that I do consistently and constantly, and I absolutely love it. But I do it with an awareness of who I am and who I want to be, and of what drains me and of what is not good for me. And that means what foods I'm eating, that means how much rest I am having or not having, that means the people that I'm spending time with. When I say don't give a fuck, it means I don't spend my time doing things that don't serve me or that don't light me up. And I've really cultivated that now. I've really cultivated a deep sense of loving kindness towards myself, so that I intuitively, almost, and there's, of course, I'm a work in progress, know what I need to do each day to look after my lion heart, to really make sure that the things that I am caring about and giving a fuck about are things that are really important to me. They're not drama, it's not old stories, it's not people who are draining me, it's things that are really, really important. So I'm going to talk more throughout the rest of the series about, you know, things like what it is that fuels you, you know, what you eat and how that works for you, and who you're spending time with and how that serves you or how that doesn't serve you. And I'll probably do a session over in my group to go into a bit more detail about that. But I am going to do a live free training session on Monday, and if you can't catch it, if you're watching this after then, there will be a replay available. So I'll be sharing details of how you can get involved with that. But that's going to really go into detail for you, everything that we've talked about so far, so that you can get really clear on who you are showing up as and where you're bringing your amazing, beautiful, sensitive lion heart into the world, and how you can have the most intimate and abundant relationships and experience possible. So I'm going to send you lots of love, and I will see you soon. Bye.